Hey guys, it's Jen, and today I am making a tuna salad without mayo. I'm going to use avocado, cilantro, lime, a little bit of onion and red pepper, and even a little bit of jalapeno pepper in there. So let's go ahead and get started. I have already opened up my cans of tuna and drained them out. You don't want to use the oil or water. I prefer the solid white albacore tuna that's in water. So you want to drain it out so that that water is all out of there. And let me get a fork here. So I'm just going to put the tuna into the bowl and get it all out of there. All right, I've got 2 cans of tuna that I'm using because I'm going to make enough for a couple days of lunch. So I've got my 2 cans of tuna going in there. Get it all out. All right, and you can see that's kind of in big chunks. So I just break it up slightly. I don't want it smashed, but just break it up a little bit. That looks good. And it'll break up a little bit more when you mix it. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to add in is a little bit of onion. So I've already chopped off the ends of the onion and taken off a layer of the skin of the onion. So I'm just going to dice this, and all I'm going to do is use about half of the onion. So I've got my onion here, and I'm just going to cut it so that it is in what they call dice. So tiny little pieces, and you want to get them as even as possible. Now when you're doing this, you don't want to like just chop and bang your knife against the board. So you're going to do this in a couple of ways here. So you're just going to run your knife through it, okay, and get it so that it's about evenly sized. Nobody wants a big bite of onion, but the little bites of onion give a nice flavor. So I did that section, move that over. Ooh, this onion's going to make me cry. Give this one a little bit of a dice. Okay, again, make sure if you see any big pieces, you can run your knife back through to kind of even them up. And then here's the last bit. So you notice I'm just rocking the knife back and forth. I'm not banging it against the cutting board. Okay, so it's going back and forth like that. And so I've got my onion all chopped up. Now the other thing that you see here is you see I've got some avocado on the cutting board. And if you watched my Facebook Live video on how to get the avocado out, that's the avocado that I used. So all I'm going to do with that is cut it into chunks. I don't want them too tiny because I want to be able to taste the bite of avocado. So I'm just running my knife along it one direction, and again I'm just pushing the knife down gently and then putting it through the other way as well. So I've got my onion and my avocado here, and I'm going to go ahead and transfer that into the bowl. So the avocado is going in, and I break that up into little chunks and get both halves in there. That looks great. It's perfectly ripe, so you got to make sure you pick a ripe avocado. And then let me go ahead and get the onion into here. Okay. All right. So in the bowl I've got the tuna, the onion, and the avocado. All right, clean up a little bit here. Some onion that ran away, and I've got a trash can down there. All right. The next thing we're going to go to is I have a red bell pepper. And so to get the pepper, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my knife around the top up here. So I'm just kind of going along the top, and you can see that that top part comes right off. There's where the stem was, and there's a little bit of what the seed is inside. So I'm going to break apart that from the stem area. You don't have to use this part. Some people throw that whole thing away. I usually break off the little pieces that are still good to be able to use. All right, then I want the rest of this pepper. So I'm just going to run my knife. If you can see inside there, these are what they call the ribs of the pepper. Okay, and you don't want those. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my knife down and then see where those ribs are? So I'm going to turn the pepper and I'm going to go along so that I'm not taking those. And so you kind of end up with just where the ribs are and a little bit of the seeds. So that part you don't want to use. You can cut across the bottom if you want to use the bottom, and that one looks pretty decent. So that's all the waste. It's not a lot. That's going down there. So now I've got this good pepper. And again, I'm going to cut this up. Get a little bad spot there. I'm just going to cut this up into tiny little, again, dices. I'll show you the size that I mean in a minute. But you want to try and get it so that they are as close as possible to being the same size. All right, you don't want giant hunks. So what we're talking about is a little piece that size. And if you look, they're all about the same size. I mean, that one might be a smidge bigger. All right, but you just want to dice them up so that they're all that same size. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Cut them along. And then dice them up. So it's easy. I'm going to move this way. You know what? I'm going to move my bowl over there. And then maybe you guys can, there we go. That's a little better. So again, I'm going to go along. And then across. And you just want to get, again, as close as you can to being bites that are about the same size. So you don't have a giant bite of onion or a giant bite of pepper and so forth. Just got a little bit more to go on this pepper. Okay. Perfect. So all that is ready to go into the bowl. So I'm going to put it in there. Alright, the next thing that I've got here is a little bit of a jalapeno pepper. So again, I'm going to cut off this top part. You don't want that. And then I'm going to cut down the center. And again, you don't want these ribs or these seeds. Well, you can keep them, but that's the spicy part. So I'm going to take them out. So I'm just going to cut along that way so that I don't have them. And that is going in the trash. And that's going in the trash. So here's my jalapeno pepper. And again, I'm going to take this and dice it, and I'm going to make these super tiny slices or super tiny little bits of pepper. I don't want giant bites of jalapeno. If you like it really spicy, you could leave the bites a little bit bigger, but I'm going to slice it so that it's super, super tiny because I don't want a giant spicy bite of jalapeno pepper. So I'm just going to give those a dice. And if you dice them this way and that's a good enough size for you, that's great. But if not, you can run your knife back through them again. All right? And there we go. Okay? So, I'm going to adjust the camera because my camera moved there. All right, there we go. Okay, so I've got all of that in the bowl. And the next thing that's going to go in is some cilantro. So cilantro is an herb, and you can use as much or as little as you like. Some people love cilantro, and some people hate cilantro. We happen to love it, so I'm going to use a good amount in here, maybe not all of that, take about half of that. And you just want the leaves, so I'm going to Move that out of the way so you can see. I'm going to get rid of the stems. So these are the stems. Get rid of that. And I'm going to keep just the leaves. Now I want to do what they call a rough chop on this. Again, I'm not going to be banging the knife on there. I just want to kind of gather these up into a little pile and kind of roll them a little bit. And then I'm just going to run my knife through them. All right, and again, you can run it through the other way. Make sure that it's all the size you want. Again, nobody wants a giant bite of a leaf in their mouth, but it does give it a good flavor. Okay, so that's there. That's going to go in the bowl. And now the thing that ties it together, okay, it smells so good in here. The thing that ties it together is a lime. All right, so I've got a lime here. I'm going to slice it in half. And then I've got a lemon squeezer, but it's perfectly fine for limes too. So I'm going to put that in there. And all that juice goes right in there. Let me get it to my trash can. And then the next half. And that way no seeds get in there. And get it in there. All right. So all of my ingredients are in there. I'm just going to mix it up so you can see what it looks like. It smells delicious. It looks so pretty. There's red bell pepper, dark green from the cilantro leaves and the jalapeno, light green from the avocado, a little bit of white from the tuna and the onion. It looks great. So, there it is. Doesn't that look good? I think it looks good. It smells great. I'm going to have this for lunch tomorrow. I hope you guys give this a try. It's really easy. I'm explaining it to you, so I'm going slowly, step by step. And from start to finish, it was 12 minutes. You guys can do this. I've got enough here for 3 or 4 lunch servings, so I'm going to enjoy. All right. Hope you guys try this recipe. Take care. I'm Jen Sabotin, Fuel Your Transformation.